Hey everyone, SweetJohnnyCage here, back with another guide for Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. This time I'm going to show you how to get one of the game's 4 endings, the return ending. Before I get started telling you the sequence of events you need to go through in order to reach the return ending, I want to get a few things out of the way. First, you need to go through all these steps before you defeat the final boss of Fountainhead Palace. Defeating that boss begins the ending sequence of the game, locking you out of the questline. Second, you can go through this questline, as well as the questline for the purification ending, at the same time. You do not have to choose which ending you want until the very last second of the game. Third, if you're just trying to get all the trophies, I recommend backing your save up after defeating the final boss, but before talking to Kuro. Talking to Kuro and making your choice ends the game. After defeating the final boss, you can return to a sculptor's idol and rest. You can technically go do whatever you want and the boss will stay dead, but this is the best time to back your save up. Doing so will allow you to choose one ending, get the trophy, restore that save, and choose another. Keep in mind that in order to get the trophy for defeating all bosses, you do need to go through the game at least twice on one save file. You cannot do it on 2 separate files, it has to be done on one. This means you need to go to New Game Plus 1 at the very least. Getting the Return or Dragon's Homecoming ending requires you to complete a lengthy questline that involves the Divine Child of the Rejuvenating Waters and the 2 great serpents found in the Sunken Valley. Here are the steps for the questline. Step 1. When you meet Owl at the top of Ashina Castle, choose to break the Iron Code and stay loyal to Kuro. This will make it so you have to fight and kill Owl in order to open up the back half of the game. Step 2. After meeting the Divine Child of the Rejuvenating Waters, talk to her to get rice. You'll need to receive it from her 3 separate times. You can eat the rice, toss it, or use it for its questline purpose. You'll need to rest at the idol after using the rice in order for the Divine Child to give you another one. If resting at the idol isn't enough, try fast traveling away and back. Something I want to bring up here is that there are 2 old women in the game who will give you hints if you give them rice from the Divine Child. What's weird is that this happens a little out of order. The game will not trigger the next part of the questline until you get and use the rice 3 times. But if you weren't using this guide, you'd need to give the rice to the 2 old women to find 2 required items later on. If you're interested in completing the optional steps of this questline, here's what you have to do. First, give the rice to the woman in Senpo Temple overlooking a cliff. She'll give you a hint about how to get the fresh fruit. Second, give the rice to the old woman who appears just behind the Bodhisattva Valley idol. She won't appear here until after you defeat the Guardian Ape. This old woman will give you a hint about how to get the dried fruit. You do need to get both the dried and fresh fruits in order to finish this questline, but you do not have to speak to these women if you don't want. If you'd rather, you can just eat the rice, rest at an idol, and then do that 2 more times until you've been given the 3rd rice. Once you have the 3rd rice, rest 1 more time, and this will trigger the next part of the quest. Step 3. After giving you the 3rd rice, the Divine Child will get sick, probably from malnutrition because all she eats is rice. She requests you give her a persimmon. Any persimmon will do, but if you don't have one, you can travel to the Shigendo idol. Once there, turn around and look along the cliffside for some scaffolding. Follow this path to the memorial mob here. You can buy a persimmon from him, or you can speak to him and he will give you one for free, along with some dialogue about the Divine Child. You do need to have met the Divine Child in order for him to give you this persimmon for free. Step 4. Return to the Divine Child and give her the persimmon. She'll then give you rice for Kuro. Step 5. Head back to Kuro's room in Ashina Castle and give him the rice. Rest at the idol and speak to him again. He'll give you a sweet rice ball. Search your inventory for a sweet rice ball and eat it. There is a chance that you have one in your inventory already, so check the item descriptions and eat the one that says it was made by Kuro. This is the only one that will trigger the next part of the questline. If you're confused, just eat all the rice balls to be safe. Step 6. Return to the Divine Child and let her know that Kuro made rice balls out of the rice she gave him. Step 7. From here, you'll need to find the item Holy Chapter Infested at the bottom of the lake in Senpo Temple. You can get here either by warping to the Temple Grounds idol and jumping into the lake, or you can take the adventurous route from the main hall idol and jump off the balcony in epic fashion. You'll find the chapter at the bottom of the lake. If you don't yet have the Mibu breathing technique, play through the game until you defeat the boss in Mibu Village. This technique allows you to dive and swim underwater. Also keep in mind that this item will not appear in the lake until after you've spoken to Kuro in Ashina Castle after defeating Genichiro. There is another way to get this item. If you speak to the old lady on the bridge outside Ashina Castle, just after the Blazing Bull fight, she'll tell you about a holy person in Senpo Temple. If you go to Senpo Temple before speaking to Kuro at this time, You'll be able to get Holy Chapter Infested by speaking to a monk next to the main hall's sculptor's idol. Once you receive the immortal severance text from Kuro, the monk in the main hall of Senpo Temple will stop speaking to you. Once you learn of the immortal blade from Ishin Ashina, the monk will disappear completely and the bell to the halls of illusion will appear on the table. Step 8. Give Holy Chapter Infested to the Divine Child. After the conversation, rest at the idol and you'll notice that the Divine Child has left the inner sanctum. Walk over to the beam of light in the inner sanctum and teleport back to the halls of illusion. You'll see the Divine Child at the end of the bridge. Speak with her, and she will request that you speak with the High Priest of Senpo Temple, who is confined within a narrow cave. Step 9. Take the teleporter back to the inner sanctum, then head up the stairs to the main hall. Exit the main hall from the back, which is the way you came in the very first time you found the place. Head to the right and into the cave. Deal with the enemies here and jump off the cliff. Turn around and head through the passageway. You'll find his reverence at the end of this cavern. Get Holy Chapter Dragon's Return from the High Priest and exit the cave using the grapple point above his corpse. Don't forget to check the pagoda for the Senpo esoteric text on your way out. Step 10. Head back to the inner sanctum and rest at the idol to get the Divine Child to come back to her little hut. Speak with her and give her the Holy Chapter. After reading the chapter, she'll request 2 persimmons of the Serpent so she can become the cradle for the Divine Heir. Step 11. You can get the fresh Serpent Viscera and dried Serpent Viscera in any order. You'll need the Puppeteer Ninjutsu in order to get them. If you don't have this ability yet, proceed through the game until you defeat the folding screen monkeys. You'll receive it automatically once you do. To get the fresh Serpent Viscera, head to Senpo Temple, Mount Kungo Idol. Jump down the cliffs until you see a lone rat. Sneak up behind him and use the Puppeteer Ninjutsu. You will go over to the crank that controls the kite and push it all the way out. Head back to the temple and work your way through all the enemies inside. Once you make it back outside, grapple up to the tree with no leaves. You'll see a new grapple point on the kite now that it's being fully extended by the rat. Keep in mind that you can die as well as rest at an idol and the kite will stay extended. Swing off the kite and then keep navigating the side of the cliff. Eventually, you'll land in front of the cave entrance the old lady was referring to if you gave her the rice. If you've met Black Cat Badger in Ashina Castle and spoke with him again in Senpo Temple, you'll see him here mourning his son. Speak with him if you wish, but don't forget to activate this hidden idol. Navigate your way out of the cave and onto the beam overlooking the Sunken Valley. You'll see the great serpent that was terrorizing you in the valley. Target it, then jump down to deliver a death blow. You'll get prompted to deliver another one. Do so, and you'll kill it. The fresh Serpent Viscera is your prize. Work your way down to the lake below and head to the Riven Cave Idol. From the Riven Cave Idol, grapple up to the exit and hop up 2 more sections of rock. From here, you can jump all the way down to the bottom of the Sunken Valley to the Poison River. You want to aim for the snow-covered branch sticking out of the cliff face. Mash your grapple button to pull yourself to safety and to avoid cratering on the rocks below. Turn left and run through the Poison River. You'll come across a memorial mob at the entrance of a dark cave. Navigate through the cave, avoiding the walls. There are wall ghost enemies here, similar to the ones in the Undead Crypt in Dark Souls 2. Work your way through until you've come face to face with another Great Serpent. Now, I'm not sure if From Software forgot to make it so this one wouldn't be here if you killed the other, or if these are truly different serpents. But in any event, you'll need to jump down the left side of this intersection. Hop up onto the ledge and you'll see a lone monkey who is clearly afraid of the serpent. Use the Puppeteer Ninjutsu on this monkey and it will jump into a crevice and begin distracting the serpent. You need to either grapple once the snake looks at the monkey, or wait until after he thrashes around a bit, otherwise you're going to die. I uploaded a guide on how to do this whole thing without Puppeteer, but there's really no point in doing it without it. Once you grapple, make your way into the house and you'll see a treasure all the way in the back. Loot it and you'll receive the dried Serpent Viscera. To leave this cave, you can either glitch the snake with a fistful of ash, or you can use a grapple point above the statue where you found the treasure. This little cave system leads to Ashina Depths. Step 12. Once you have both the fresh and dried Serpent Viscera, return to the Divine Child. Give them to her and then she'll ask you to leave. Step 13. Resting at the idol outside causes the door to close. Eavesdrop on the Divine Child to hear her writhing in pain. Step 14. Rest at the idol again and the door will open. Speak to the Divine Child again to learn that she has gone blind. She will begin to cry, but her tears will be frozen. She'll notice this and give them to you. Keep in mind that if the door does not open, you'll need to proceed through the game until the Divine Heir tells you how to get to Fountainhead Palace. I've read that this is the trigger to get the Divine Child's door to open again, but I've never actually had this happen to me. The last step is step 15. Play through the rest of the game and defeat the final boss. Speaking with Kuro will prompt you to make a choice. Giving Kuro the Dragon's Tears and the Frozen Tears will trigger the return ending. That about does it. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll do my best to help you out. If you're looking for more content for Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, please subscribe to the channel so you get alerted when new videos go live. If you like my content a whole lot, please consider joining the channel and becoming a member. You can do that by clicking the join button just under this video. Alright, I'm SweetJohnnyCage. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.